Hey, I'm Justin from eMotimo, and today we're going to go over a tutorial on how to combine real-time with time-lapse. It's a question we get asked about a lot, and we've developed a pretty easy way to do that, so let's jump in. So this is done with two separate moves. The first move is done in real time. We put our subject with a green screen behind him so we can easily key him out. Then we reset, we jump into the playback engine, we reset the frame rate for a slower frame rate, and we move along at a slower pace. And then that gives us our time lapse. And later in post, we'll combine them together. So the first thing we do is we jump into our keyframe menu. We have to just set an in and out point. And I'm gonna do that right now quickly. So that's my start point. And then I'm gonna move the rig forward towards Keaton here. And as we move forward, I might maybe just pan a little bit to the left, kind of reveal a little bit more of the skate park. We're gonna bring it towards the end of the rail here. Boom, I'm gonna set my in point. Now all I have to do is set the duration of the move. We're gonna go ahead and set maybe like 15 seconds for the move. And we can set our ramp. I'm gonna set a 2-second ramp. And our shot style is run once, and we're not gonna add any frames. Okay, so the goal of this shot is to simply just push in towards Keaton. He's gonna stand there in normal speed, just doing his thing, and then the background will be moving very fast. So it should create a really cool effect. So we're gonna go ahead and run this. We have the trigger cable for the red plugged in, so it's gonna start and stop for us. That way our clips will match up perfectly in post for us. All right, you ready? Here we go, 3, 2, 1. So the Spectrum saves the move that we just recorded. And what we're gonna do right now is simply just change the frame rate. And we can drop that down, all the way down to 1 frame per second, which is what we want to do. The last thing we have to do is, since we've set the Spectrum to be 1 frame a second, we have to match the red with that. So we just simply drop it down to 1 frame per second. We're going to get a much brighter image because we're at 180-degree shutter angle. I'm going to darken it down with my ND filter. So that's all we have to do to set it up. You can see how incredibly simple that is to blend different time frame rates, and the Spectrum just does all the math for you. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna run this move again, but we're gonna take Keaton and the green screen out, and we're gonna get a time lapse to blend together later. Cool, so now what we're doing is we're going back to the start, right where we began. And the Spectrum's gonna do all the math for us. It's gonna give us a nice smooth move that we can just simply lay in later. Because of the red trigger, the frames should match up almost perfectly and require very little post work for us to do. So what it does is it recorded 360 frames from our first move that we did, and then now it's just playing it back slower, and we can see the cart slowly moving. Should give us a really cool effect. All right, so that's it. We just ran both moves, the real-time and time-lapse shot, and now we're gonna jump into post.
All right, and welcome to the post end of this tutorial. I'm gonna go through basically how to layer these in and remove the background. First, let me start by saying that I made a mistake, and I thought about reshooting this, but I think people can learn from my mistake. And that has to do with the green screen. If you look right here, there's 2 different tones because I had a cheap green screen that you can simply see through. We've got darker greens here, lighter greens here, some different color greens here, so it's going to be really difficult to key this. My first attempt, I had a really nice neutral green screen and it keyed very easily, literally 1 click and we were there. So if you take extra time and precautions when setting up your green screen, it's going to save you a lot of time when we get to post. But let's jump in, I'll show you how to do it anyways. First, you simply want to just import your 2 clips. Here are my 2 clips on the left hand side. I brought them down into a new composition. You simply just select both, drag them to this new composition button, and this is what this is where you end up. Now, the easiest way to start is to put the clip with your subject on top, and then put your time-lapse clip behind him. There's a little bit of color discrepancy. It's not perfect. This is just for demonstration purposes. So first of all, we're going to use an effect called key light. You just take that in here, simply drag and drop, and simply all you do here is just select this eyedropper and you select the green out of the green screen. Now, we don't have a perfect key because again, I didn't really take the time to do this properly. Also, we didn't bring any extra lights to light this, which if you do that, you're gonna have a much easier time with this. I'm not going to go over all the details of how to use Keylight because there's a lot of tutorials online that go very in depth of how to do that. But real quick here, we'll jump in. I'm going to change this to screen matte, and basically everything that's white will be keyed, or I'm sorry, everything that's black will be keyed, everything that's white will stay. So we basically just have to change our, well, we can bring up our screen gain a little bit, that darkens down our background. We bring up the screen black, which darkens back here, so this keys out nice. And then bring the white roll back until our subject is pretty much white. And then from there, you can add some feathering and stuff to your mask. But let's just kind of see where we're at. So we've got a pretty decent key. There's a little bit of spill still. I could spend more time doing this, making this a little bit nicer. But for the speed of this tutorial, I'm just going to show you how to do it as if you actually set up your green screen properly. So that simply keys him out. All I have to do then is go into my pen tool and make a simple garbage matte around my talent. And that will key out the rest of that clip. And really, that's pretty much all you have to do to make this effect work. Now, again, I messed up, so I have to do some extra work, which means I have to kind of comp in his head. And I did that on another composition here. As you can see, my mask follows around his head, and it's actually animated, which was a pain in the butt. So take the extra time when you set up this green screen effect, set it up properly, and it's going to make your post workflow really easy. Literally just a few clicks and you'll be there. Alright, so here you go. I'll show you the final clip, and thanks for watching.